Why Hytale developers stop giving updates? Hello and welcome back to Hytale Truffle. Before we start, I would like you to hit that red subscribe button so that you never miss out on any of our videos. In today's video, we're going to talk about why Hytale developers stop giving updates. Without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Early 2013, Hypixel Inc. was then founded, and April that year, the official Hypixel server was created. Simon had no idea just how successful Hypixel would be.
Every time we get news, it feels like an eternity, but we haven't heard anything about Hytale in a long time. Even more so when breaking news of this significance is involved. This video will be jam-packed with Hytale news, so you won't want to miss it. From a whole new world-gen engine to revolutionary movement tactics. To begin, I'd like to emphasize that many of these improvements are brand new even by Hytale standards. Many of these alterations may not make it into the final game as the team has stated. Some, on the other hand, believes that the team's tardiness is announcing the changes reflects their high expectations for them. As they said themselves, we spent a lot of time over the last year conducting a deep investigations into all things we need to do in order to ensure that Hytale lives up to expectations. Let's get down to business with the game's most significant change since its announcement, in my opinion.
The date is now April 2015 and development for Hytale has begun. Fast forward to 2016 and the Hytale.com domain is registered, a trademark for Hytale is filed, and Noxy, who is a member of the Hypixel team, announced to the public of the standalone game.
The recent updates announcements of multi-platform support, which is now first on the list of news, has nothing to do with the game experience, rather than something with a far greater impact on the real-world experience. That's right, we're talking about Hytale availability and accessibility as stated in the Winter 2021 update. They said it's vitally important to us that Hytale supports a large, interconnected community for many years to come. That means making sure that we're ready for the challenges that come with growth, including eventually releasing the game on multiple platforms. However, we no longer expect it to be ready for launch until at least 2023, and it could take a long time, they explained. There are two key considerations driving this assessment. The first is that our capabilities as a studio have significantly improved and the scope of what we can do has expanded. Put simply, we're better at making games than we used to be.
Early 2019 swings around and a demo of the game was available to play at the Game Developers Conference, as well as the Hypixel studio team holding a panel at the EGX Res Expo.
But taking full advantage of this takes time. The second consideration is the need to develop Hytale in a way that allows us to bring it to multiple platforms as rapidly as possible. It's always been our goal to eventually release Hytale on mobile and consoles, as well as PC, but it has become apparent that we were heading for a scenario where our community would ultimately find itself split across versions and devices. They also added, we think it is enormously important to avoid this to create an ecosystem where many players as possible can play together and share their creations. However, this means making major changes to Hytale's engine and our approach to launch, and this extends developmental time. For the meantime, let's discuss what they have announced already. Systems of Advanced Movement. If you think Hytale will be another block-style game with robotic movement like Minecraft, we think you have high expectations. Sure, the type of movement recalls a lot of nostalgia, but let's be honest, it feels a little restricting and outdated. In the most recent Hytale update, we notice a gang of avatars walking through the game's countryside. In any other context, the movement would be unimportant, but in the closing shot, the heroes jump onto a ledge and grab it with their hands. This is followed by a climbing movement, something we haven't seen in Minecraft or any other Hytale's update before. This feature implies that the developers have advanced beyond basic movements and are now experimenting with more complicated ideas because they would not be stranded behind something that is clearly within their reach. Gamers will be able to widen their exploration bounds. This brings a new degree of realism to the game that was previously unavailable owing to outdated game mechanics. Avatar personalization. We may anticipate that the creators will continue to introduce more possibilities for customizing our appearance in the game. After all, our wardrobe is a way for us to express ourselves, and the game's creators are constantly expanding these avatar perspectives by introducing new fashion and style options. This year, the firm is focused on a number of these issues, and we can anticipate them to work on even more minutes things. Eye color, hairstyles, and the players' physiques are a few examples of what will be expanded on to accommodate individuals from various backgrounds. In addition to these, we should expect more facial details and even fantasy elements. That's all for today. I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you never miss any amazing videos from us.